Suleiman I, later known as the Magnificent, was born on November 6, 1494 in Trabzon, a city on the southern coast of the Black Sea, then part of the Ottoman Empire. He was the only son of Selim I and Hafsa Sultan, who was likely of Crimean Tatar descent. Suleiman's early years were shaped by a blend of imperial responsibility, rigorous education, and exposure to the complexities of governance. From the age of 7, Suleiman was sent to Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, to be educated in the palace school, the Enduran. This prestigious institution trained Ottoman princes and promising youths in various disciplines, blending Islamic teachings with practical governance. Suleiman studied science and mathematics. He gained proficiency in topics critical to statecraft and administration, history and theology, where his education instilled a deep appreciation for Islamic jurisprudence and Ottoman heritage, literature, where Suleiman developed a passion for poetry, adopting the pen name Muhibbi, and composing works in Persian and Ottoman Turkish. Finally, military strategy and administration, where he learned leadership skills that prepared him for military campaigns and governance. In line with Ottoman tradition, Suleiman served as a governor of several provinces, a practice designed to prepare heirs for the throne. He governed Bolu, Kaffa, which is modern Feodosia in Crimea, and finally Manisa in western Anatolia. Each appointment exposed him to diverse administrative challenges and populations, honing his political and leadership skills. Manisa, located near the empire's core, was particularly significant as it served as a training ground for future sultans. During his time as governor, Suleiman gained first-hand experience in managing taxation, resolving disputes, and commanding military units. His governance reflected a commitment to justice and effective administration, foreshadowing his later emphasis on law and order as Sultan. Suleiman had great personal influences. Two pivotal figures influenced Suleiman's early development. Hafsa Sultan, his mother. She was deeply involved in her son's upbringing, ensuring he was prepared for the challenges of rulership. She played a critical role in connecting Suleiman to the spiritual and cultural traditions of the empire. Pargali Ibrahim, a friend and confidant. While in Manisa, Suleiman befriended Pargali Ibrahim, a Greek-born slave who would rise to become his Grand Vizier and trusted advisor. Their bond shaped Suleiman's reign, as Ibrahim was instrumental in many of his early successes. Suleiman grew up during a transformative period for the Ottoman Empire. His father, Selim I, expanded the empire significantly, bringing Syria, Egypt, and the Hejaz under Ottoman control. Suleiman inherited a realm that was vast, multi-ethnic, and poised for further expansion. This environment imbued him with an ambition to not only maintain but also enhance his father's achievements. This robust foundation of education, practical governance, and cultural exposure laid the groundwork for Suleiman's remarkable reign. His ability to integrate these early experiences into his policies and leadership style helped him emerge as one of the most influential figures in world history. Suleiman the Magnificent's reign as Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, 1520 to 1566, marked the zenith of the empire's territorial, cultural, and administrative expansions. His rule combined military triumphs, cultural flourishing, and significant legal and administrative reforms, but it was not without criticisms and challenges. Suleiman had a variety of major achievements during his reign. Military expansion. Suleiman led the Ottomans to numerous victories, including the capture of Belgrade and Rhodes. His decisive triumph at the Battle of Mohacs ended Hungarian independence and established Ottoman dominance in Central Europe. Despite his success in Central Europe, his siege of Vienna, 1529 and 1534, ultimately failed to capture the Habsburg capital, marking the limit of the Ottoman expansion westward. In the east, he secured Baghdad and reaffirmed Ottoman dominance over the Safavid Persian Empire, bolstering the empire's status as the leading Islamic power. He was also responsible for legal reforms. Known as the Kanuni, the lawgiver, Suleiman harmonized Ottoman laws, blending Sharia with secular regulations. These reforms provided greater clarity and fairness in areas such as taxation, property, and criminal justice, promoting stability across the empire's diverse population. He also made great contributions to culture and architecture. His patronage ushered in the golden age of Ottoman art and architecture, Mimar Sinan, Suleiman's chief architect, designed the iconic structures like the Suleiman Mosque in Istanbul, which is a masterpiece reflecting Islamic and Ottoman architectural grandeur. Suleiman himself was a poet, writing under the pen name Muhibbi, and fostered an environment of literacy and intellectual growth. Suleiman also formalized the millet system, which allowed non-Muslim communities to self-govern under their religious leaders, fostering religious tolerance within the empire. He established educational and welfare institutions, including schools, libraries, hospitals, and soup kitchens, ensuring the welfare of the public. Throughout his reigns, he did have his criticisms and challenges. There were great issues with succession and his own family. Suleiman's reign was marred by familial conflict. He executed his eldest son, Mustafa, over allegations of rebellion, and another son, Bayezid, was executed after attempting a coup. These events strained the imperial family and raised questions about his decisions, which we will look at later on. Overextension of the empire. While Suleiman expanded the empire significantly, the administrative system began showing signs of strain under the weight of governing such vast territories. Issues such as corruption, overtaxation, and social unrest became increasingly evident the more the empire expanded. With each military campaign came costs. Suleiman's prolonged wars, especially against the Habsburgs and the Safavids, drained resources. Although he achieved victories, many campaigns ended inconclusively, highlighting the limits of the Ottoman power. He epitomized the Ottoman Empire at its peak, both in territorial reach and cultural achievements. However, his policies and succession choices also set the stage for challenges that his successors would struggle to manage, eventually contributing to the empire's gradual decline. Suleiman's combination of military prowess, legal reform, and cultural patronage makes him one of history's most influential rulers. In his later years, Suleiman the Magnificent faced profound personal and political challenges, particularly within his own family. These difficulties stemmed from succession politics, court intrigues, and Suleiman's own relationships with his wives and children. Sultan, Suleiman's wife, played a pivotal role in the court's intrigues. Originally a concubine, she rose to become Suleiman's legal wife and a powerful political figure. Her unprecedented influence caused tension within the royal family, particularly with Suleiman's first son Mustafa, who was born to his concubine Mahidevran Sultan. Hurrem actively worked to secure the succession of her own sons, most notably Selim and Bayezid. This led to rivalry amongst the princes. Ottoman succession was traditionally contested among sons of the reigning sultan, often resulting in bloody power struggles. Mustafa was the most popular and capable candidate, supported by military factions and people. Hurrem, however, sought to undermine him to elevate her sons. The execution of Mustafa in 1553. The culmination of these tensions was the execution of Prince Mustafa in 1553. Mustafa, Suleiman's eldest and most competent son, was accused of plotting a rebellion, a claim widely believed to have been orchestrated by Hurrem and her ally, Grand Vizier Rustem Pasha. Suleiman ordered Mustafa's execution, an event that deeply shocked the empire. Mustafa's death eliminated a strong leader, leaving weaker heirs to the contest for the throne. This act alienated many within the empire, including the Janissaries, elite Ottoman troops, who saw Mustafa as the rightful successor. It also created instability within the court and resentment amongst the public. After Mustafa's death, the rivalry shifted to Hurrem's surviving sons, Selim and Bayezid. Their conflict intensified after Hurrem's death in 1558, as her mediating influence was lost. Suleiman was aging and less involved in governance. He struggled to control the escalating tensions between the two. In 1559, Bayezid rebelled against his father and brother Selim. Suleiman responded harshly, sending Selim with an army to suppress his rebellion. Bayezid was defeated and fled to the Safavid Empire, but was later executed along with his sons in 1561 on Suleiman's orders. This left Selim as the sole heir, despite his reputation as an ineffective and indulgent leader. Now, these issues arose because of the Ottoman succession practices. Ottoman sultans did not follow automatic succession to the eldest son. Instead, succession was open to all male heirs, leading to intense rivalries. These struggles often resulted in the elimination of competitors, either through exile or execution. Sultan's ambition broke precedent by influencing state affairs and actively advocating for her sons. Her decisions disrupted traditional power dynamics within the harem and the court. In his later years, Suleiman became more withdrawn, possibly due to the grief over the loss of loved ones and declining health. This created a great power vacuum that allowed factionalism to thrive within the court. These family tragedies deeply affected Suleiman by the time of his death in 1566. He was physically frail and emotionally burdened. Despite his vast achievements, Suleiman's later years were overshadowed by the turmoil within his family. His chosen successor, Salim II, lacked the qualities that had defined Suleiman's reign, marking the beginning of a gradual decline in Ottoman power. Suleiman the Magnificent's death marked the end of an era for the Ottoman Empire, but his legacy continued to influence the world long after his passing. Suleiman died on September 6, 1566, during the siege of Svetva in Hungary. Despite his advanced age, 71 years old, he insisted on accompanying his army, a testament to his enduring commitment to military campaigns and governance. He passed away in his tent due to natural causes, likely heart failure, though his death was concealed from his troops for several days to prevent a loss of morale during the ongoing siege. Suleiman the Magnificent left a lasting impact. Suleiman's reign significantly expanded the Ottoman Empire, cementing it as a major power in Europe, Asia, and the Mediterranean. His legal reforms, which earned him the title Kanuni, organized and codified the empire's legal systems, balancing Islamic principles with practical governance. These reforms influenced Ottoman governments for centuries. Suleiman also made a vast amount of cultural contributions. He was the patron of the arts and architecture, commissioning iconic structures such as the Suleiman Mosque. His economic strategies implemented during his reign, including control of major trade routes, laid the groundwork for the empire's financial stability. Suleiman's policies also facilitated cultural and technological exchanges between the East and the West, influencing global politics and trade networks. Suleiman's tolerance towards religious and ethnic diversity, exemplified by the millet system, ensured social cohesion within the multi-ethnic empire. This approach to governance has been studied as a model for managing diversity in large empires for times to come. Despite his military failures later in life, such as the unsuccessful siege of Malta, Suleiman's achievements solidified his reputation as one of history's most formidable and enlightened rulers. His vision of a powerful and culturally rich empire continues to inspire admiration worldwide today.